Hello everybody and welcome back to the last tutorial in the man in the middle section, and right now we are going to cover some of the other options that we didn't cover in the previous two videos from this man in the middle framework. Let's open up our terminal. First of all, I will enlarge this and I will zoom it in so you can see everything better, and now I will navigate as usual to my directory, run the help menu, and let's see what options we're going to run. And right now we're going to run a bunch of the options at the same time. For example, we're going to run the regular options such as interface, gateway, spoof, and ARP. We already saw how captive portal works. We already saw how screenshotting works, and right now let's test some of the other actual options that we have right here. The first thing that we're going to add would be this enable SSL strip for partial HSDS bypass. This option right here allows us to load the plugin SSL strip, which enables us to actually be able to sniff some traffic and some passwords on some HTTPS websites that are running over SSL. Now, if the encryption that they are using is TLS, we will not be able to do that. So this only works for partial HTTPS websites, as it says right here. Now let's go down here. The next thing that we are going to use, we can simply just take a look at some of the interesting things, such as, for example, image randomizer. There is, I believe, an option to flip images. Here it is. This is a fun option that we can add. Upside down internet, it flips images 180 degrees. So we can try that just for fun. All the other options are not that necessary, and they are pretty much more detailed, such as, for example, load cookie file. We're not really going to bother with that at the moment. You have shell shock payload right here in order to test for the specific shell shock. You can also try on your own to actually perform some different types of spoofing. As you can see, the ARP spoofing is not the only one that you have. You have ICMP, DHCP, or DNS spoofing. You have this file PWN option, which can actually backdoor executables that are being sent over HTTP. So if a target visits HTTP websites and tries to download a file from an HTTP website, you can simply just use this option and make them actually download your own file that you put on the actual web server, and therefore they will download your backdoor and run your malware. So right now let's go right here and use the options that we specified. We are not going to use this backdoor executable at the moment, since we really didn't learn what backdoor is for now. We will mention it in the system hacking section, which are going to be the next section of this actual course. But for now on, let us run the actual options that we can. So first option is I for the ETH0, then the -- gateway for the actual gateway or router's IP. Then we can use spoof, then ARP. After it, we can use image randomizer just for fun. So let me see where that option is and how do we specify it. So right here, it is called upside down internet. So let me just copy this so I don't have to type it, and we will see if it even works. It might not even work. So here it is. And we are going to use the HSDS. So we want to load the actual SSL strip plugin into our actual man in the middle attack. So we can actually bypass some type of the SSL encryption. So you have other options right here, such as HDA drive-by, as it says right here, performs HDA drive-by attacks on client. You can load that plugin and see what it does. You have SMB trap right here, exploits the SMB trap vulnerability on connected clients. There are a bunch of different options right here, which we are not going to cover all of them. We are only going to take a look at some of them, and these are the ones. So let us just run this attack right here. Yeah, it is 2 dashes, so -- HSDS. Now it should be good to go. It loaded all of the available plugins, and right now let's see, once we open up the website, let us see whether it will flip the images upside down. So press your enter. As we can see right here, we can see that we visited this website. Now if we open it up, we can see that this image is actually flipped. So if you take a look at some of the previous videos, you will notice that this image was actually turned around. You can see all of this is actually turned around, as the actual letters are upside down. The images are upside down, as we can see right here. all the images are upside down. So this is a little fun trick that you can perform if you want to, for example, have fun or something like that. You can simply just do this. It doesn't really do anything dangerous except flipping the images on websites. It will make the target be confused and not know what's going around them. So it is a fun little thing to do. But the more important thing that we can actually do with this tool is if we, for example, visit my router, and as you can see right here, as soon as it loads this page, it will ask us for the username and password for the router. Now, whatever I type right here, so let's say 12345, and right here as well, 12345, press here OK. You will see that we actually managed to sniff the credentials for the router login. So you can see right here, netcreds onto this IP address right here, which is the router's IP address on port 80. We managed to catch basic authentication with these credentials right here. So the username 12345 and the password 12345. So this tool is really powerful, as it can actually sniff passwords and usernames on HTTP websites and on HTTP websites or HTTPS websites that are running SSL once we perform the SSL strip. So as you can see, if we change simply to a normal actual username and password, let's say it is admin, even though it is not for this router, but let's just see if it will be able to sniff it, and it is able to sniff it. As we can see, admin gets printed out right here, so that works as well. Now if you go onto some HTTPS website, let's try with facebook.com for example. Okay, so as you will see, once you actually visit facebook.com, it will not get printed out right here that you're visiting facebook.com, because this is HTTPS website and it is also running over TLS or with the TLS encryption. Therefore, there is really nothing we can do. Once you actually input the username and password right here, it will not get printed out right here because it didn't manage to actually capture it. Now, once we go to the, for example, now even though you can't really understand this, I'm going to some actual login page. And we can see right here that even though this is HTTPS, it will still not be able to actually sniff this because this is not an HTTP website. Therefore, once you input this, you will not get inputted anything right here. Same goes for any other login page that actually runs over HTTPS. As you can see, as long as you have this lock right here, it means that it is protected by some type of encryption, and therefore we really can get this, or you really can get the username and password outputted right here because it is all encrypted. Unlike on our router, which we already saw, as soon as you actually type something, it will actually get printed out right here and you will be able to sniff it. It goes for any HTTP websites, and we did manage to catch something. So even though this is an HTTP website, as soon as we actually wrote something, it managed to actually capture it, and it actually printed out right here on our screen. It wasn't a username and password, but it was some kind of a comment that we were able to catch, and it actually wrote it right here on our screen. So the most important thing that you should remember is that it can actually perform any type of the attack on an HTTP website, but on an HTTPS website with a powerful encryption, such as for example Facebook, it will not be able to sniff any type of credentials. Basically, that would be about it for this type of the attack, for the man-in-the-middle attack. And in the next section, what we are going to do is we're going to actually start with the system hacking using Metasploit framework tool, hacking different types of machines, and creating backdoors. So hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope I will see you in the next one. Bye.